Toyota invented 5S more than 60 years ago, and it works. Toyota proves it every single day. But most companies fail at 5S, and not because people are lazy, because the knowledge behind the standard was never captured. 5S is one of the most powerful tools ever built for running a clean, disciplined operation, and it works. Toyota has proven that for over 60 years, but most companies fail. I want to tell you a story, a true one. I have worked in mining, automotive, luxury retail, energy, and logistics for over more than 20 years. And in every single one of those industries, I have watched the same thing happen. The tape line on the floor is perfect, the shadow ball is perfect, and 6 months later, it all falls apart. Here is the first uncomfortable truth. Most managers don't actually know what 5S is. They know the words source, set, in order, shine, standardize, sustain. They put the poster on the wall. They hire a consultant for 2 weeks. They buy the red tags. But 5S was never a housekeeping program. It was never about clean floor. Toyota didn't build the most reliable production system on earth because the floor were shiny. 5S is a system for making problems visible. That's it. A clean, organized, standardized work cells makes the abnormal jump out. The moment something is out of place, you see it. That's the entire point. When you treat it as a housekeeping, you get a clean floor and nothing else. When you treat it as a problem detection system, it changes everything. But here is the thing nobody else tell you, and it's the reason your last 5S attempt died. The real reason 5S fails is not discipline, it's knowledge. Let me say that again, because it matters. 5S fails when the people who understand why the standard exists leave or were never asked in the first place. I once walked a plant in the automotive space. Beautiful 5S, shadow board, labels, the work. A machine operator pointed to a tape line on the floor and asked me, "You know why that line is there?" I said, "No, tell me." He said, "Because 12 years ago, a guy named Carlos decided the finished part needed to sit exactly there. Carlos retired 4 years ago. Nobody knows why the line is there anymore, but the line is still there. And now the process changed and the line is in the wrong place. But nobody will move it because nobody knows if it's safe to move." That's the problem. The standard survived. The knowledge behind the standard died. In manufacturing, we call this tacit knowledge. It's the know-how trapped inside your best people, the thing they can easily write down, the reason they do something a certain way, the reason they stop doing it in another way. Here is what most companies do. They implement 5S, they document the what, put the wrench here, put the part there, wipe the machine after every shift. They never document the why. Why does the wrench go here? Because it's anywhere else. The operator reaches across a moving line. Why does the part sit there? Because the forklift can't see it otherwise. Why do the wipe after every shift? Because this machine leaks coolant when it cools, and nobody noticed for 3 years. The what is easy. Any consultant can give you the what. The why lives only in the heads of people who have been there the longest. And when those people leave, the why lives with them. What you are left with is a museum, perfect, labeled and empty. So why does it happen every time? I will tell you. Number one, we don't ask. We bring in the consultant. We tell the workers what to do, and we never sit down with the operator who's been doing the job for 20 years and ask, Why do you do it that way? Number 2, we don't record. Even when someone does explain the why, it lives in a conversation. It's not written down. 6 months later, that person is gone and the conversation is gone with them. And number 3, we treat the standard as a finish line, not a living thing. The process changed, but the tagline didn't move because the line is sacred and the knowledge is gone. So what do? You build the system backward. Before you touch a single tagline, before you buy a single red tag, you capture the knowledge first. You sit with your best operator. You ask them the question nobody asked, and you record it. This is why I started SenseiLab, because for 20 years I watched companies documented the what and lose the why. I watched Carlos retire and take the answer with him. I watched perfect 5S program collapse 6 months after the consultant left. The answer is not another poster. It's a system that captures what your best people know before they walk out the door. One specific example. We work with a manufacturer on a machine setup process. The documented procedure said one thing. The actual setup took a senior operator's feel, a torque, a temperature, a sound the machine makes when it's right. We captured that, recorded in his word. Now it's in the standard, not lost. Here is what I want you to take away from this video. 5S is not the problem. The why is the problem. The next time you walk your floor and see a tagline, ask one question. Why is this here? If nobody can answer, you don't have a 5S program, you have a museum. And every museum have ever seen in a factory is a warning sign. It means the knowledge left and only the furniture stay. Is your 5S a living system or a monument to someone who retired? Here is the honest test. Walk your floor this week. Pick any standard and ask why. If the answer is, that's how we have always have done it, you have already started losing the knowledge. The clock is running and the people who still know the answer, go ask them before it's too late.